Greetings. Where are you, Craig? Well, I'm in my parents' basement, and I have the camera up here on the bar, and I've noticed that I really, really need a standing desk, or a desk that can be, standing or maybe lowered for sitting as well, sort of a convertible, if you will. Not necessarily because it's of physical health, although, there's arguments saying that it's good for your health. There's also arguments saying that it's doesn't really make that much difference. But also for mental health, because when I'm editing or when I'm writing, it's like, sitting for so long and you're just like zoned in, it's exhausting and you want to break. When I'm standing, I can take 8,000 mini breaks. I can write a little bit and be like, well, now I feel tired and annoyed. I'm going to walk around. And then you do that, and then you come back and you're refreshed, and you can get back to your editing, your writing, or your bull crap that you're doing. I probably stop working on bull crap. It smells bad, it's messy, doesn't really amount to anything. Hey, Dad, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, I'm shooting video.
Oh, are you?
You want to be in it?
No, that's okay.
Not ready? You need to put your makeup on?
Yes. Fix my hair.
You could at least say hi.
Hi.
Okay, good.
Bye.
I found myself editing, standing, and doing this while I was editing, rocking. I wasn't even consciously doing it. I was just moving. My body wants to move while I'm editing, you guys. So, and speaking of, I'm still editing the video about home buying. Last week I told you about my thoughts about what I've learned about home buying, and that video it's a beast. It's a beast of a video, and so I'm not done. So the next video coming out will come out, the main channel video will be maybe in 2 days, and it's China and I answering the 36 questions that make people fall in love. It was an hour and 42 minutes of footage of us just answering those questions and talking, and it's sometimes hilarious, sometimes a bit serious and intense. And I edited it down to 15 minutes. Pretty straightforward. It's just us talking and answering these questions, but I really like how it turned out, and so look out for that in a couple days. The home buying video. So last week I brought up how I said I don't think it's a good just to buy a home just for purely a financial investment. Not if you're becoming a real estate baron, buying a bunch of property to rent it out. I'm talking about buying one place just to live in it. And, a lot of people took issue with that, and I can understand that. The thing is, what a lot of people bring up that I should address, I addressed it in a comment in the previous video. A lot of people bring up, well, renting is throwing your money away. You are literally just giving your money to a landlord who's paying their own mortgage. That is true. However, it still depends on a million factors, but there's this website, Nerdwallet, that has a calculator to put in all sorts of numbers to take into account rising rent costs, which happen with inflation. You can put in how much you think they're going to rise. You can put in how much you think inflation is going to be. You can put in how much money you make a year. You can put in how much you think your property value is going to go up. All the numbers, the taxes, the insurance. Depending on the numbers you put in, it can change. One can win out over the other. The crucial thing for me that I put in is that people don't often consider when they're talking about renting is that if you put in a large down payment on a house, that money that you're putting into a large down payment on a house, that you can invest that money instead of putting it into the house. You can put it into a diverse stock portfolio. Traditionally, over the last 100 years, that has grown about 9%. To clarify, a lot of you are going to look it up and find a 7% number, but that's adjusted for inflation. This is not adjusted for inflation, but inflation is part of the chart on NerdWallet. So putting in, assuming 9% growth, which no guarantee, you never know, any of the numbers, there's no guarantee. You don't know how much property value is going to grow up or anything. But just putting in all the things that I assume would happen had I rented instead of bought a house. The chart was exactly the same. This is all going to be in the home buying video, by the way. So yes, you're throwing money away, but you are also saving money, and the money that you're putting in stocks. Again, I bought a house, and I'm not regretting the decision. I think it's a good decision for us. There's more factors than just finances. I think it's also a decent investment, a house. I think it's not throwing your money away. You are investing in a home. But there are disadvantages. There can be accidents. There's a lot of maintenance cost. It's not as flexible. You can't pull your money out at any time. To get the money you invest, it's one of them clocks you have at a grandparent's house. My parents are grandparents now. When you invest in a house, you have to sell the house to get that money out. If you need that money, that's not a good position to be in, especially if it's like the economy tanking, and then it's hard to sell the house. Whereas if you have it in stocks, you can pull it out very quickly. It makes it sound like I'm much more pro-rent here, but I'm not. I'm just trying to combat the idea that it's just obviously the better investment to buy a house. Because I think it's pretty much a toss-up, because there's so many factors. But you might be able to find like a property, you know, that it's the obvious win because the property value is going to shoot way up, and you know it is going to. There's just so many factors. There's too many factors. So I think if someone rents and you say, you're throwing your money away, I don't think that's accurate. And if someone buys a house, you say, what are you doing? That's a crazy, dangerous thing to do. That's also not the right thing to say. I think there are many factors that we should give people the benefit of the doubt that they're making the right choice for them. Regardless, I think you will end up saving a bunch of money if you're smart about it either way. So that's the good news. That is my point, and I think I made it better right now than I did in the video I'm going to put up on the main channel. So I hope you enjoy that. I should have put that in the main. Well, it's not too late. I'm still working on that video. Those are my thoughts about everything and anything right now. How are you? And it's Memorial Day. I hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day. If in the United States of America, take a moment to give your thoughts to those who we lost giving their service for our country. And that is all. Thank you. Oh yes, I have a Patreon if you want to get these kind of videos every single freaking day. And, one more thing. 100,000 subscribers. We got it. We got the reward. We got the subscribers. We're doing good, guys. Keep up the good work. It feels really good. Thank you so much for being here.